This is All the Mods 8, where the goal is to create the All the Mods star. The only problem with that is that the star takes millions of items to make. So how are we going to get millions of items? See, I've already tried several ways to get all of these millions of items that we need, like grinding thousands of mobs in my mob blender, or even just destroying entire chunks with, well, a chunk destroyer. But this just isn't doing it for me. Like, I need something more exciting, something more magical and explosive. And I know just the mod. In the past few episodes, we've actually been diving into the mod Ars Nouveau. It's a magic mod with super cute creatures and cool wizard robes, but deep within the spell book, there lies a combination of spells that when used just right, can do exactly what we want. And if we want to unlock these powerful spells, we needed to kill the Wilden Chimera. This is the boss of Ars, and just like me, he likes explosions. Thankfully, on the last episode, me and my moose Body killed him. It was pretty intense. I honestly thought Body was going to end up dying. And I'm not gonna say it's because I couldn't give Body a jetpack. Body, it might be best if you stay here. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's about to get real serious out here and you don't have a jetpack. Honestly, I was really just looking out for Body's safety, and I tried to tell him to get back, but it kind of came out like this. Please, come here, Buddy. Oh, he's exploding. Body, get out of there. Oh, Body, you need to get out of here. You might actually die. So, Body being the, good boy that he is, he kind of left. He probably just needed a break, and he'll come back eventually, right? Anyway, the Wilden Chimera drops the Wilden Tribute, which is what we need to take our tier 2 spellbook and upgrade it to a tier 3 spellbook, which is where we'll find the most powerful spells. See, this entire time, people thought that I just wanted to become a wizard, but in reality, I did this because I wanted to make bombs with spells. If we want to make this spell the bomb, we're going to need to use that Wilden Tribute to upgrade our spellbook first. And it looks like we need to kill 2 more things. So we'll need a Totem of Undying and a Nether Star. The Nether Star is actually pretty easy to get. All we got to do is just kill the Wither. Now for the totem, we actually have to find this special mansion out in the middle of a dark forest. Inside is the evoker, which in vanilla Minecraft is supposed to be really dangerous, but this is modded Minecraft, okay? So I'm just gonna get his DNA, insert it into a chicken like a rocket, and get the mob egg for him. Why do I need his mob egg? Well, remember that mob farm I had set up? With this egg, all I have to do is go to one of those spawners, right-click it, and bam. Now, we can spawn the evokers anytime we want right into our mob blender. I don't want just one spawner though. There, that's much better. All right, so how many totems do we have? Oh, well, we really only needed 1, so I guess that'll kind of do. All right, cool. Now we can upgrade our spellbook. Bam, easy enough. Now that we have the upgraded spellbook, it's time to start creating our bomb spell. So in Ars, spells are created by making glyphs first. They're basically like the ingredients of a spell. Think like sugar, spice, and everything nice or whatever. To make the glyphs, we have to do it all at something called the scribes table. Easy enough, we got a scribes table. Let's start making these glyphs. The first glyph that we need is called the glyph of explosion. How else is anybody going to make a bomb if it doesn't explode, right? Like what? Oh wait, what is this? Amplify increases the damage and size by a small amount, while AoE will increase the size of the explosion by a large amount. So Amplify increases the explosion by a little, but AoE increases the explosion by a lot. You heard me. I want huge explosions, so we're absolutely going to have AoE. There is one more thing that we absolutely have to add to the spell though, and it's called Extract. Basically, Extract just makes it when the explosion happens from the spell, the blocks that it hits aren't destroyed whenever we start blowing the stuff up. The whole point of this is to get millions of items with bombs. And how can we do that if we just continuously blow up all of the stuff we blow up? Question mark? All right, so making all these glyphs pretty easy to do. We go over to our scribes table, we search and pick whatever glyph we want to make. We just throw the items down that the ghosts start demanding, and bam, they give you the power to destroy the world one glyph at a time. Now, when we right click while holding the glyph, we learn that spell. That simple. See, now the plan's all coming together. Now all we have to do is create the spell in our spell book. All right, so how do we create this spell? We got to think about how we want it to be cast, right? In ours, that's called the form. We have projectile, self, and touch. Last time I checked, I don't want to cast this on myself. And I absolutely don't want to just touch everything to blow it up, because that doesn't really sound, all right, I ain't gonna lie, that does sound pretty fun, but it's not what we're going for. Maybe later. Okay, maybe later. Calm down. It's okay. Explosive hands. That sounds kind of dope. Anyway, so we're gonna choose projectile, right? So we can shoot these explosions. And for me, I want to add a little something extra to the spell. This is called Pierce. In the description, it actually says combine with AoE to add depth. I want my explosions to be deep, so I gotta add it, right? It only makes sense. All right, so now we know how we're casting the spell. We gotta tell it what spell to cast. Explosion. We add extract just to make sure that we're not blowing up those items when we blow things up. We add at least one amplify and, you know, AoE, a couple AoEs, a lot of AoEs, and I mean lots of AoE. And just before we're done, we're gonna come over here and name our spell, and then we click create. Finally, this spell is going to cause massive explosions. Everything that we've worked for is right here at our fingertips. Well, technically not, considering we chose projectile, but you know what I'm saying. All we have to do is aim it and right click. Except that we can't cast this because it's too expensive to cast. All of this work for nothing. How am I supposed to blast into the mines now? How am I gonna cast this without enough mana? If only there was just something that could cast the spell for me. Oh wait, there is. We need this bad boy. This is called the spell turret. Instead of using mana to cast spells, it uses something called source. Source is basically just the power for everything in Ars. And we've kind of already created a source farm, but I kind of don't want to use that. Instead, we're going to create a source farm using our good pals, the evokers. You see, whenever mobs die, we can use something called a vitalic source link to create source. And thankfully, we have a place that sees a lot of death. All right, so for this to work, we need a lot of source jars. And I mean a lot of source jars. More source jars. Perfect. Next, we need to find a way to get the source from these jars into the source jars of wherever we set up our spell turret, right? To do this, we need to make something called a warper relay. The question is, are these evokers dying fast enough to fill up the jars? Okay, yeah, probably. Let's go see just how big of an explosion we're talking about here. And to test this, all we gotta do, put some source jars down, place down our spell turret, place down our warper relay, and then we set the turret to the spell that we want to cast, right? Alakablam. To make a turret work, all we have to do is give it a redstone signal, and then we can see exactly how much of an explosion we're dealing with. Okay, well, at least it worked, right? But now we need to make more of them. And maybe we should probably give a little bit extra distance so we don't, like, you know, blow up our entire setup. But what if we added a few more? All right, so this is 100 spell turrets. All we have to do is give a redstone signal to each of them. Every single one of these has something on the back called a redstone link, which is basically kind of like a remote control. Each of these also have a full source jar attached to each one of them, and everything is ready and set up. All we have to do is press this button right here, and we set off a massive explosion. This is everything that we've worked for right here. That was so cool! Oh my god, it's so beautiful. But what if we made it automatic? We slap a timer instead of just a button, and then... Oh, that's not good. Well, I think it's safe to say that it works. This has probably been the coolest thing that I've made in modded Minecraft. Like, it blew a hole in a mountain. God, I just love this so much. Now I just gotta build 500 of them. You know who would really like to see this? Body. He probably would have gotten blown up, but you know, I kind of miss that guy. I wonder where he's at. I hope he's doing okay. What if we just found a lady horse? A little baby horse or something? A little family or something? Maybe. Hey, you, have you caught up to this series, or is this the first time you're watching? If you want to see all of what's been going on in my All the Mods 8 series, make sure you click this playlist right here. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go find Body, maybe. As always, y'all stay safe, stay sexy, stay beautiful, and bye-bye!